Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Brothers and sisters, at Al-Huda School, we're striving to develop our young generation, our students, in a way that they become balanced individuals. When I say balanced, I mean balanced from all aspects of their life. From a spiritual point of view, from an academic point of view, and very importantly, from an emotional point of view. We want our students to be strong in all of these areas. And brothers and sisters, we realize very well that mental health is a real issue. Is a real issue that's been around from the beginning of time. Even at the time of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he taught us a dua where he taught us to say, "Oh Allah, I ask your protection from worry, from sorrow, from grief, from anxiety." And so with that spirit, brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jal blessed us that we hired a full-time social worker for this purpose, who is here to help our students get through these difficult times, get through these challenging times.
My name is Walida Mukhtar. I am a licensed graduate social worker. I would say within Al-Huda School, my main role is to basically address the psychosocial needs of our student body and their families as it pertains to their success at Al-Huda School. In terms of the Dar-us-Salaam community, I think it's a lot of psychoeducation about what mental health is, what mental health is not. Some of the greatest issues I'm seeing with our student body is lack of belonging, lack of confidence, and these go hand in hand, and the lack of being confident within their identities, whatever those identities are, but particularly within their Islamic identity as well too. I see a huge struggle there. Families have become busy. We have households where both parents are working, siblings don't have the connections they did several years back. Everybody's on their own, and this has a lot to do with the era of social media, of technology and all of that, where I'm just by myself. So a lot of our students feel like they have nobody in the world, although they're in a house full of people. So we're addressing a lot of that confidence, where we have students who, regardless of what their parents have told them, what the school is telling them, what their friends are telling them, just don't believe they're worthy enough or that they're good enough. So they're constantly questioning themselves, and that leads to a whole different issue, and it leads to other mental issues, possibly, if it's not handled or taken care of or addressed. Bullying is another huge thing that we see. I grew up in a day and age where when you got bullied at school, it stayed at school, and you got to go home and enjoy your family. In this day and age, technology allows the bullying to continue at home. So we see a lot of cyberbullying, a lot of obsession with social media and how others look, which further makes them feel like I'm not good enough, because if everybody doesn't look like this model or this superstar, then I have to be the worst of the worst. What I'm seeing with the students is just somebody being able to listen to them is huge. Sometimes it's not that I'm even saying anything to them, but giving them that space where I care. I'm here to listen. I'm here to help you process through your issues has helped. Coming up with coping skills with students, like actually teaching them that there's things called coping skills, that when I get upset, I can do this. Giving some psychoeducation on self-confidence, on loving yourself, on resiliency. I've seen that work. Getting their families involved. So it's hard in schools because once you get in trouble, your parents come in, but it's never really to help. It's more so, here's the consequence. This is what your child did. So I think with the counseling office is an added piece, because here's what your child did, here's their consequence, but go see the school counselor and see how we can address these issues. The benefit of seeing a Muslim therapist, if you're a Muslim, is that it's someone who understands your faith and doesn't contradict it, whose goal isn't necessarily to question your faith or to ask why you behave in a certain way or to be confused, right? And it doesn't only have to be with faith. We often say that the more you identify with your therapist, the better it is. I was really reluctant in the beginning because I'm the first person who was able to do this counseling services here at Al-Huda, previously part-time, and then now full-time. And I was like, much can't get done. There's so many students. But subhanAllah, with the administration and the shura, they took the opportunity and they're like, do it all. Whatever you can do it all. Whether that's individual sessions with students, which is something that we're covering, whether that's group sessions where we're having the larger scale groups in the Masalla for the students from grades 5 to 12, whether that's there's this certain issue just in this particular class, go into that class, address it, give them some psychoeducation, try to work with them on whatever that issue is that's independent to that class. Parent workshops. We've hosted several parent workshops, and that's something we talked about when I first was thinking about coming back full-time, is we can't help students unless we help parents and families. And in order to do that, we have to be able to educate parents on what it is to be raising children in this generation, what it is to be raising children who are American. We have training for teachers to get them to also understand some psychoeducation on what mental health looks like, what some behavioral problems look like, and what they can be stemming from. It's not from disrespect, but the child is struggling. They're going through different things. How do you address that rather than blaming the child for their behavior? We need more counselors. So this is a shout out to any counselors out there to come and join us. We need a male counselor, but they're hard to come across, right? Because I'm sure some of our middle and high school boys would feel more comfortable speaking to a brother than a sister. We need more counselors to come in and just do group for the community. I can imagine just hearing me constantly can become exhausting for some people, or not new or fun. Other areas of improvement would be doing more programming for students, right? I would love to set up a counselor corner where if you have issues or concerns about your mental health, your academics, your anything, we have pamphlets for it. We have bulletin boards to address certain issues, little videos that maybe we can send every single week to help parents learn how to better parent or better understand their children, or children can click on it through Al-Huda's website. Like if you're suffering from depression, here's a short video of what it's about and how you can seek help. Like that's my goal at the end, is to make it more, to make it bigger in essence, to make it bigger and to make it readily available for anybody who needs the help.